I don't find much worth looking forward to on the internet anymore. There's a lot of novelty, but no tasteful novelty. The recommendations on the homepage no longer excite me, at least not enough to extract a click. Interesting looking videos go to my watch later playlist, which then proceeds to stay unwatched. The same is true with my bookmarks on Twitter. Incredible things are happening in the world in biology, AI, media, the space sector. Genuine intellectual conversations on these barely come on the feed. And when they do, they come packaged in the artificial sweeteners of the attention economy. Sometimes I search up the names of the people who are working at the frontier of media and technology and then scroll through their posts, liking them one by one, trying to tell the algorithm to send more of this my way. I also use the not relevant for me button a lot more often these days. I'm sure the product managers at Google are surprised with the sudden increase in engagement on this user flow, in case I'm not the only one who is doing this. If they're watching, it would be nice if I could do this with fewer clicks. Contrary to what most people believe on this matter, I don't think that the enshittification of the internet is inevitable. I also don't think that it is intentional. At least, it is not being done consciously or in bad faith. It is rather the result of something benign. The internet, like all pieces of technology, is a form of leverage, specifically a distribution leverage. I can record this in India and you can watch it sitting in North America, or you can make an app in Sweden and someone sitting in Japan can use it, because the internet removed the need for intermediaries, gatekeepers, and permission slips when it comes to distribution. That is beautiful and magical. But when everyone can speak and everyone can listen, a certain type of content proliferates on the platform. It's not bad enough to be dismissed outright or be a spectacle in itself, and not good enough to be aesthetically or intellectually nourishing. It's mundane and spiritless, or in mundane and spiritless terms, mid. On the consumer side, most people are not picky about what kind of content they consume. If you're watching this video right now, you have probably come across other pieces of content on the topic of slopification, which might have given you the impression that this is what most people feel. But that is not how it is. Slopification is a global concern, but not a majority concern. Most people like watching the stuff that you find unbearable. Watch hours and engagement have only gone up with the declining quality of content. On the producer side, it is very easy to end up catering to this majority audience. I've seen creators who want to be authentic, but they kind of average out their authenticity so that they can also be relatable to the maximum number of people. The lowest common denominator keeps winning. Where people fear the most, the sloppiness is the highest. Like LinkedIn, where people are afraid of pissing off someone who can employ them. They have been speaking in AI slop tongue since way before AI slop was a thing. So, can we not curate our exposure? Yes, but at a cost. You can retreat into group chats, discords, curated feeds, and build a clean internet. But as a result, lose the ability to discover new stuff. It's a trade-off between filtration and discovery. Even if you use a custom content aggregator, you will need to tell it what kind of sources you want information from. Having a good time on the internet today demands something it never used to: intention. You have to know what you're looking for. You have to put in the effort of not taking a reach bait. You have to resist the urge to click on shorts. But why is discovery important in the first place? What's so bad about a drab, clean, and boring online space if it helps us regain our sanity? Can't we just sacrifice or renounce all of this stimulation? The answer is that we are not sticking around for stimulation. Stimulation was never the point, and the magic of the internet was never in its content, but in the delightful accidents it made possible by connecting the world. You could be sitting in India, bored, clicking around, and stumble onto someone from South Africa who cared about the same obscure thing as you did. You didn't go looking for them. You didn't know they existed. You just collided somewhere. I grew up in the 2000s, and I remember the absolutely magical feeling when I logged onto Facebook for the first time. I was chatting with people from my school who were way outside of my friend circle, but read the same books, watched the same shows, had the same kind of questions about the world that I did. We would later connect more deeply over a game of Beyblades, but if not for Facebook, we would never have started conversing in the first place. In fact, it is thanks to the internet that I'm married today. My partner and I went to the same school for some time, but We were practically strangers. Years later, we reconnected on the internet, started out arguing about politics, slowly became best friends, then fell in love, and today we are married. We were not looking for a partner. We didn't swipe right. We just collided. A life-changing collision that would not have been possible without the internet. It's not just individuals who collide all the time. People collide with communities, with hobbies and interests that they never knew they had, with a field of work that later they find out to be their life's calling, with era-defining incidents happening halfway across the world that transform their worldview or ignite in them a will to live fiercely. The anticipation of such collisions is what made the internet exciting. Nowadays, when we scroll, we are trapped in a loop of pure anticipation and no delivery. Our capacity for wonder is being exhausted on cheap surprises. The forest is polluted. You're interested in AI research, but that comes wrapped in grift and politics. You're interested in cinema, but that comes wrapped in cheap drama. Once in a while, when we find something good and pure, the comments all say the same thing. This is what YouTube was all about. This is the reason I pay my internet bills. We cannot renounce it all because deep down we know that the magic of the internet is something worth holding on to. So what can we do about it? There are signs of hope. We have dunked on social media throughout this video, but in the past few weeks, at least on YouTube, things seem to have improved. These days I get a lot more recommendations from smaller channels. Channels with 100 or even 20 subscribers, right up there against videos with millions of views. And when I click on them, it's genuinely good content. If this video reaches you and you click on it instead of one from a channel with 80 million subscribers, it means that the algorithm is getting better in some ways. But we shouldn't just passively wait for the machine to fix itself. We have to help it. The reason rage bait and brain rot make it to a lot of feeds is that we engage with it. We comment, we stare, we share in disbelief. To offset that interaction, we need to consciously contribute to the conversation around tasteful content. When you find something good, don't just consume it. Interact with it, comment on it, share it. It is because we respect our own attention that we need to be active gardeners of our own feed, sending clear judgment signals to the platform to help the flowers choke out the weeds. And if you feel like there's a certain kind of conversation missing, start it. Put out your own content. There's no better way to fight for the magic of the internet than to be a source of delightful collisions yourself. Thank you for listening.